I was really psyched after I found out about the leadership framework. I was like, how have I not heard about this before? Why doesn't everybody do this?
I hope that through this, Northwestern students realize that it's about understanding me, it's about understanding the people around me, it's about the justice and the ethics of it all, it's about building and maintaining those relationships and, strategy and reasoning.
I think for me, a lot of the concepts within the framework were things that I had heard of before and things that I was used to seeing. But I think what was great about the framework is that it finally presented those ideas in a way that made sense and were all connected, which wasn't really something that I kind of thought of as being that way.
I think it's really good in showing the fluidity of what a leader looks like and in how different spaces that can change.
The framework would have been incredibly helpful during my compass orientation when they were talking to us about how to be a good and effective mentor, what is expected of us, and those things. Looking at that mentorship through the different lenses of the Northwestern leadership framework would have been really helpful in that space, because it would have taken what was then an abstract concept of being a mentor and gave it practical steps to think about how you can be effective, how you can explore yourself, and how you can impact others.
So my journey with the leadership framework really stemmed from entering residential services as an RA. It's actually something that we get taught during our training, and it's like a reference material that we have. It's been really useful because the skills that they use there are sort of directly influenced by the leadership framework, and then I could also use those skills not only in my RA role but also in my fraternity role, in my council roles, as an ASG senator.
I think the leadership framework has been really helpful for me in my position in women in leadership, being a facilitator, as I have to facilitate dialogue for a lot of other women who are also facing these issues.
I self-evaluate a lot and I discover, what do I need in this moment in order to be an effective leader? What do they need around me in order to, have an effective leader, and how can I give that to them?
We've included the leadership framework as part of our Panhellenic development guide. And for our new executive board members, it's one of the first things that they're exposed to in terms of leadership development within Panhellenic.
I would say that there is a level of truth to saying that the leadership culture just on campus is title driven, competitive.
When I think about the leadership framework, I think it is really good in giving people room to be an authentic leader. Because I think a lot of times at Northwestern and in other places, it is very performative to be a leader and to ascribe to the societal norms of what a leader looks like, who they are, and what positions they hold. So I think the leadership framework has been really helpful in knowing that there are alternative ways to do that.
I think healthy leadership admits fault. I think that at Northwestern it can be very easy and lucrative to play into the perfect leader narrative in which you are the head, you're the president of 5 organizations and the vice president of 6, and you do it all perfectly. The most effective leader that you can be, especially if you're a leader that values maintaining relationships, is an honest and vulnerable one, because that is going to encourage honesty and vulnerability within your community.
I think the part of the framework that really stuck out to me since I've learned about it is sort of the cyclical nature of it. It's not really, there's no point A or point B, and it kind of represents how, leadership is something that's always growing and always changing, and it's not like you can finally get to a point now you're a leader. You're kind of always growing with it, and I think the fact that the framework is kind of this sort of network of different circles and Venn diagrams really portrays that.
There are so many concepts that go into being a great leader. It really is about the full person and the full mission and the full journey that you'd like to go through with the people that you're leading. And that it's not about you. It's about what you're trying to create and what you're trying to make out of whatever you're creating with other people.
It's something that hopefully we can push out to more people, because I do think this is something that if people were able to study up on a little more, they'd be able to do a lot better in their own jobs, in their own life, careers, everything in general.